And we're back here on the Morning Brew. We've got a lot going on here today, and a real pleasure to welcome to the show another longtime friend of mine, John Lewinger. John, notable in the commercial real estate business here in Albuquerque for many years. And I can't keep up with you, John. Are you retired now, or are you semi?
I'm a semi, yes, a 40-footer. I work about 5 hours a day, and in the real estate business.
That's good.
And it enables me to achieve a lot of things, and I'm very focused, and I'm having a great time.
We go back to the days when you did the real estate show with Peter Parnag.
Actually, we did that for 18 years
Yes.
on that other station, KOB.
Yeah, and that's where we first met.
Yes,
and
sir.
You guys did a great job with that show. And, well, anyway, we're here to talk about something very important. It's on the ballot for the November election, and early voting is underway now.
That's correct.
So you want to get some attention to the bond issues that are out there.
Right, and what I'm working on, Larry, is every 2 years there's a cycle. 1 year the city has a bond issue, and the other 2 years the county has a bond issue. And this year there are 5 different bond issues that are on the ballot for a total of $27 million. A couple of very, very important points is, number one, the way that these are structured, and this is really a financing technique. It will not, it's paid back by ad valorem or real estate taxes, and it does not, anything that's on this ballot does not raise taxes.
Right. What the way this works, they go out into the bond market, sell these bonds to investors, and that's how the deal gets financed.
Right, and that's exactly right. And the city has as high a bond, the county has as high a bond rating as you could get, so we get very, very preferential interest rates on this bond. And it's sort of like a mortgage, and we pay them off with the real estate taxes that we get. So
Kind of a no-brainer,
works
actually.
perfectly. And in fact,
Yeah.
there's a thing called bonding capacity, which has to do with how much revenue you have. And we probably could do 3 times as many bonds as we're doing, but the county is very, very conservative. And I think one of the highlights about the county, they do a great job in the time allotted, and they get the job done. And that's not the truth in all the municipalities.
Okay, so what projects are we going to be funding here?
I'm going to take my glasses off for this.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
So there are 5, and I'll hit them lightly if I may.
Sure.
The bond issue number 1 is about libraries.
Okay.
Take a guess how many library cards there are in Bernalillo County.
Whew.
I'm going to get them on this one.
Yeah, you are. How about what?
$360,000 library cards.
Wow.
In Bernalillo County.
Who'd have guessed?
Nobody. And the only way, I live out in the mountains, and there's a fabulous library out there, and it is sort of a social center. And libraries nowadays just don't give out books. They have, I said tapes the other days, they have every modality you could get for getting information out. And the only way they get funded is through the city and the county's bond issues. So next year the city will raise money for it. And this year, the bond issue that we're raising is $1,800,000, and that's where the libraries get their operating money to buy this stuff.
Yeah.
Second bond issue is a public safety bond issue.
Okay.
The biggest thing on that is $4.5 million to design and construct a new 7,000-foot animal shelter. And if I get up really early in the morning, I watch a lot of news, and every day there are issues about our animal shelters and feral cats and things like this. This is something that the county needs, and it's the only way it can get it.
Okay, good.
Number 3 is parks and recreation, and everybody's getting something here. The biggest thing on that is an otter exhibit for $2 million, and it actually goes into the city's zoo and aquatic facility. But the methodology and thought process behind this, if we want to have great jobs in New Mexico, we've got to have a great city, and we do have a fabulous zoo, and this is an enhancement that we really need.
People will come out and watch those.
Yeah, and there are probably 10 other things that are being done under that bond issue for a total of $6.5 million. A bond issue 4 is road construction. The county maintains almost 500 lineal miles of roads. That's not the city roads, the state roads,
Right.
just in the county. A great portion of those are unpaved. So part of this money is going to paving roads.
Okay.
As an example, there's a co-op with the state. That's another very important thing about the bond issues. We get state, we get federal money. And so we're improving the routes where our school buses go, and we already have the state money. So just a bunch of stuff on that.
Okay.
And the fifth one is something that's very important, and I think who's got the greatest benefit for this is probably the South Valley. And these are drainage and utility
They need it
extensions.
bad down there.
And we've been working on some of those things for 20 years.
Yeah.
Some of them we're about to complete. And so we aggregate state, city, and federal money to get a lot of this done. And I think that one is about $4.5 million. I'm sure that through the aggregation of these funds, the collection of everybody's money, we're probably going to get to spend more than $15 million down there.
So it sounds like a win-win all the way around.
And I do not work for the county.
No, you don't.
This is my 20th year of doing this because my examination shows that there's no other way to get this stuff done. It's not because of me, but the 20 years I've been observing it, we have never not gotten a bond issue taken care of. The lowest vote we've ever gotten is about 60%, and some of them get to 80%. So the county does, this is an area that does a very, very good job.
It's, if memory serves, in my experience, the bond issues usually do pretty well here. Yeah.
Well, this one does not raise taxes.
Right.
Taxes. There have been a couple that have failed because what it does, it could raise your
property
taxes
tax,
on your houses.
Yeah. This one does not.
It does not in any way.
All right. John's a man of his word. No
Yes,
doubt
I
about
promise that.
Man, it's great to see you again. I'm glad you're out supporting this. Sounds like some worthwhile projects. And,
Well, you know, there's a lot of things that go on in this community. I'm also chairman of the C&M Foundation Board, our community college. And this and the community college are two things that I think are absolutely necessary. I mean, even if in your business, if you went over to C&M on Alameda, we have an entire facility for exactly what you're doing here. So
yeah, we've had some C&M students on our crew before.
yeah, well, it's extraordinary. That's one of the places where they get to learn.
Yeah.
So thanks for letting me plug that also.
Yeah, not a problem. It's always good to see you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And don't be a stranger. Come back.
Well, the coffee is very good, and now that there's donuts, I'll be here every day.
Good. Drop by anytime. John, thanks so much.
Thank you, Larry.
The bond issues are on the ballot for your November election and early voting as well. My good friend John Lewinger is supporting, and there's the website on the screen. All right, we'll be back for a final cup on the Morning Brew in just a moment.